at ANZ, there was a global, well, I looked after credit card platforms. And before I looked after them, I was in architecture and I was asked to do a strategy to do a global credit card platform for the region. They called it global, but it was actually for Asia Pacific. And we had a bunch of small businesses out in Asia who didn't want the big Australian guy coming in and taking over because they would lose their autonomy. And so we had to spend a lot of time traveling around those countries, convincing the CEOs of all these small banks that it was in their best interest to get on board. So I had to help convince, first of all, the person over the top of Asia, make sure that they're on board, get their support, and then go personally to visit all of these CEOs in Indonesia and Philippines and all over the place, Singapore, and Taiwan, when we eventually bought them, to help them see that this was in their best interest and that we would help them out. And then come back, put together a business case that would go all the way up to the top of the ANZ retail board, and they would support and go from there. We had a program called Glow Cards that took off. It was harder than we thought and tougher than we thought. We eventually did it though. We eventually moved them all on until ANZ went and sold some of those businesses off after I'd left. But along that journey as well, finding some really good people who could come in and take ownership of it. And in the end, as I moved up, they took my spot, taking global cards and running those things, and really talented people who the success was really on their shoulders once I sort of put them in and got going. We made a lot of mistakes, but we did a great job. And in the end, it was the first kind of global platform for ANZ when they wanted to be a super regional bank. Everyone sort of looked at that as what the blue chip kind of way they wanted to be. So that was something as well that was really good. And the importance for me on that was just stakeholder management, getting out, talking to people, listening to them. The strategy pack had 25 versions, and each of those versions was speaking to a different executive. So,
Wow.
and a lot of it was just the executive summary that they wanted something on, or they wanted an opinion, and you're placating these very high-powered banking executives from all around this region and saying, yeah, okay, yep, no, I get your point. And then by the time we actually went up to get the approval, the CIO at the time just completely rewrote the exec pack with 4 dot points and they all signed off on it. But the effort was in the conversations. It was getting out there and talking, listening, making them feel like they listened to, getting their advice, replaying it back. Took a long time, but in the end we got it done and that program got over the line. So that was a big lesson for me, that one. And I'm an impatient guy. I was sitting there going, would you just sign up? But yeah, and we had some really good support and really good sponsors as well. That's the other thing, is you've got to get a champion who is influential, and really get them to sponsor you. And don't be afraid to do that. Once you get them, make sure you get them to look after things and sponsor you through, and take their advice. It's really important. If you don't have a sponsor, you're going to find it really hard to be successful.